So hello, dear friends. This will be a short video honoring my Zen peacemaker teacher when it was not a direct teacher, but in a way also direct, Bernie Glassman, whose commemorial we are celebrating today, whose third commemorial of his death. And as I today cannot sit as much as I would wish, perhaps only in the evening, for him, so I follow my inner thread, my intuition, and I have come here because in this building there have been lots of, I don't know, hundreds of refugees a couple of years ago. And I don't know when it started that they were brought to another, we have no idea where. It's not really a good feeling that one container or one building after another is closed or cleaned up, even built down, which before was installed for refugees, because they are not less. It's not that they are less crossing the sea, less flying. It is still an ongoing catastrophe we are witnessing. So as I pass this building today, now coming from a doctor myself, I decided to stop here, to make a stop, and to tell you and remind myself that a couple of years ago, I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago or so, our then peacemaker circle sat on the marketplace, and in a circle in the midst of the marketplace was very beautiful, with chairs from the ice shop, and had a council, and then would afterwards go in walking meditation through our city. The circle was called being a human being in our town, in our region. And we stopped here, and it was very deep, I remember. It was deep, I think it was in December, and people were very open and curious, and let us in without any appointment. This is not so usual sometimes, and we would have a guide guiding us through the building, and people waved at us and invited us to share meals with them, which I often experienced, actually, this enormous hospitality towards those who live in far better and more secure conditions. So I look around, I hear somebody. I hope I do not disturb anybody, but I don't think so. And with these gatherings, which took place 2 monthly, more or less, there was a series of really deep and dedicated Saturdays. We had Bernie and the whole Zen peacemaker friends in our hearts, and would bear witness to the dark places of Bonn. And after this, I remember that we went to the big psychiatric hospital and also to a homeless shelter. And then I got immensely involved in other stuff, in journeys. I think that was was a couple of bigger things, of Lampedusa again, and I went again to Auschwitz in 2019 then, and things happened, and also in Bosnia, the Bosnia retreat, the Greek retreat, all this happened in these years between 2015 and now, more or less, one could say. And as I am planning to resume such days, such bearing witness days, in our city and region, and want to manifest some plans I carry inside me since longer. I want to say again a huge thank you for all my friends who were guided and had the courage to bear witness in such and many other places we even do not know of. I just met a social worker when I entered here, a very open man, and I asked him where the refugees are, and he said he does not even know himself, and because he works there, he showed me this building there, and said he would be sad that they were gone, and that he has also not a really good feeling where refugees are now placed. So I will really take care of this issue. We had the pandemic, and who knows what has happened without our knowing. Yes, Bernie Glassman Roshi has definitely changed my life totally, as I always wrote or said. And I think many of us know the book by Pema Chodron, the Venerable Pema, Go to Places You Fear, and he lived that. He showed us how to live that. And not only personal or on your own, that you go to your inner place, because of course it's the same in a way, isn't it? To our inner hell realms, we have to resonate with our inner hell realms to be able to be open and open our hearts towards the field outer places, which perhaps are not outer places. And saying this, I'm very aware that known and unknown Zen Peacemaker friends are now in Birkenau on Thursday, and Friday. Friday it's the last day then, and Friday is the day of the ash pond. And often Father Manfred would lead the group in different ways. Sometimes way of the cross, and after that one would assemble around the ash pond and would have kind of a final circle, a final bearing witness, and one would in the evening have a Shabbat with a meal, and this would mean the closure of the bearing witness retreat. So I feel very close. I heard from the social worker that this is a clinic, which I didn't know before, a clinic for heavily addicted people to heroin, mainly heroin, but also if they consume beyond heroin, and they are taken there if they are very heavily sick, I heard. And I'm very surprised and in a way happy and glad, not about their conditions, of course, but about that there is such a thing, that their substance, now what is the word for it? they are medically treated very intensely and very well. And there are successes that people really can survive and others not. And I asked whether I could perhaps be of help one day, and it is not so easy because it is a big private space, and I understand that depends very much on trust. Yeah. So with this and a renewed vow to protect our life in a huge universal mandala, and to welcome all beings and with all ingredients they bring forward for the supreme meal, I say again, thank you to all teachers who followed also this way, who learned with and from Bernie, all my comrades, and yes, let's stay together.